be drawing this elephant for our warm-up, and we have to start with noticing basic shapes. So, elephant body is a bunch of circles. If you notice the head, it is an oval, and then we have triangles for the ears. So when we translate that onto a piece of paper, we have this. We start with the basic shapes of a circle. We start with light lines, and we want to put in a line of symmetry. That way we can line things up. We'll put in an oval for the head, and then we'll throw in some triangles for the ears and some additional triangles over here for the ears. Now those legs are really just a couple of rectangles that we put at an angle. Notice they're on an angle here. So if we see it, there's an angle. And then we will put our leg over here. So if we look at our trunk, the trunk is the letter, or it's a J. Now, eyes are circles. And anything else we need to add? No, it looks pretty good. So now we can start to refine it and revise these shapes. So I'll start with the ears over here. And we want to make them look closer to ears than just a triangle. So I'm going to curve and shape these lines. Maybe add a little shading as I go along. Let's make the eyes a little bit bigger on this side and a little bit smaller on this side, and that way it gives it a sense of perspective. If we look at the trunk, it's really just a cylinder that curves. So if I put in an oval right here and curve it up, it gives us the resemblance of a trunk. Now let's take a look at the legs here. Legs are cylinders, and I can start to shape them and maybe add some of those elephant toenails. Now notice how I'm just moving around the drawing. I'm not really committing to anything, one specific thing. I'm kind of working my way around the drawing, resolving some issues, and thinking about others as I'm going. And let's not forget our trunks here, and our trunk on this side, and then let's curve this ear so it stands out like that. And then we have our tail. Okay, so I like what I see, and I am ready to commit. So I'll start to use some heavy lines, and we want that trunk to really be in front of, the tusk to be in front of the trunk, and we want this trunk to come back. So I'll create a heavy line there, and let's add some detail while I'm doing it. And here's an eye. And then we have our ear here. Let's do the ear over here. I'm keeping this a little lighter than over here because we want to have a sense of perspective. Light lines tend to give the appearance of being further back, and dark lines, heavy lines, bring it forward. So we're creating a sense of perspective here while we're doing this. Notice that I have this angle. It's in perspective, and I'll create some detail right here and shape it, and then we'll have the legs right here. Notice that I have not used an eraser yet, and I'm just working my way around this drawing, and it's still in a pretty messy phase. This is good sketching, and then we'll start to add some shading right here, and you can use your fingers and you can start to tone it in right around where you want some shading, and that way you don't have to spend time with an eraser. You can just add a very light shading all through, and this will give us a really quick and efficient drawing without using an eraser. And there you have it, the warm-up of the elephant.